In August 2014, 4 grad students at the University of Notre Dame in South Bend, Indiana, bounced around the idea of making a schoolie, an old school bus converted into an RV. After they found an online community dedicated to exactly that, they were hooked, and there was no looking back. Led by Nick McChesney, who jokingly referred to himself as a salty dictator, the 4 students soon became 8. From plumbing to interior design, carpentry to blogging, each brought their own interests to the project. "It was love at first sight for us," said Nick, referring to the 40-foot, 20-year-old carpenter school bus they found online. The bus was owned by an amateur blacksmith called Mike, who sold it to the students for $3,000. Serious work lay ahead. While the vehicle had a decent diesel engine, its interior was a worn-out shell filled with useless junk. How much time would this take? How much money? And how much technical know-how? The students drew up a plan. Their first task was to insulate the interior from the rattle and grind of the road below. In the freezing snow of the Indiana winter, Rory and Michael suffered hell as they fitted bolts to the vehicle's undercarriage. Next, the students installed a layer of plywood flooring. They then built frames for the bunk beds, kitchen fittings, and sofas. For added noise insulation, they also boxed in the wheels. Their attempts to install onboard gas stoves were not so successful. "After a few fireballs," said Nick, "we quickly ditched them in favor of electric appliances, and so they had to fit extensive wiring, batteries, and sockets." Few things are as essential as sleep, especially after a hard night's partying. Using a handsaw, the students cut 4 6-foot memory foam mattresses in half to make 8 individual beds. According to Nick, they were extremely comfortable. One of our better decisions. Mike, the blacksmith, who had always dreamed of building a schoolie but never managed to, had previously applied a somewhat sloppy paint job to the bus. This would not do, so the students diligently sanded it down to its original yellow and added 2 coats of white primer. "The improvement was incredible," Nick explained, "even if it looked like a prison bus." The students only realized how big it was when they parked it next to the far smaller Notre Dame seniors bus. There was, however, still a lot of work to do. Using their apartment block's dumpster as an improvised scaffold, the students set out about installing a roof deck. In exchange for beer, their friend Mike welded the steel structure in place. Next, they turned to the interior, painted the walls, and fitted lightweight, water-resistant vinyl tiles on the floor. Samantha's skills as a designer came in particularly handy here. Perhaps the most interesting idea was wallpaper made from early 20th century maps of Yellowstone National Park. The new look, or old look even, interior was suddenly looking very road trip friendly. Plumbing is a tricky job, but somebody has to do it. Rolling up his sleeves, John installed a pair of sinks, a pump, and a faucet that converted into a makeshift shower. Both fresh and wastewater tanks were part of the final system. Finally, after a total investment of $20,000, many long weekends, hours and hours of hard work, and the helping hand of fellow students, the RV was ready. In the early hours of one May morning, they set out on their long-awaited road trip. Featuring a swish lounge, a kitchenette, beds, and a bathroom, the finished Serendipitibus was elegant, comfortable, and practical. 5 onboard batteries supplied enough juice to power the onboard microwave, air conditioning unit, and mini fridge. The appropriately named Mega Couch spanned 21 feet and included fold-out leg rests, underseat storage, and handy gadget chargers at each end. The cushions were custom made in LA, the covers sewn together by Michelle and Nick's mom. No self-respecting party bus would be complete without a liquor cabinet. Ideal for those long nights parked up in the middle of nowhere, the pull-out drawer had ample space for bottles, cups, and cocktail straws. The bunks looked remarkably inviting. Each one included a tidy cubbyhole with an electrical socket, underbed storage space, and reading lights. There was also privacy curtains for, in Nick's words, when the magic is happening. One of the challenges of designing a mobile home is factoring in space for possessions. In addition to hidden compartments, the students added several cabinets and shelves, primarily for books and painkillers, just in case they were needed. In the students' original plans, the roof was supposed to be a party deck. In the end, though, it was used for storing bikes. Below the bus, there were 6 more compartments for bulkier luggage. Setting out from South Bend, the students' 8,000-mile journey took them on a grand loop through Washington, California, and Texas. Although the bus was extraordinarily large, they managed to find some excellent parking spaces, including one with expansive views over San Francisco Bay. The voyage ended up taking the group to some of the country's best-known cities and landmarks. On the way, they picked up passengers from as far afield as New York and Ireland. Sadly, though, nothing lasts forever. The students' Grand American Tour had taken in 19 states, but before the summer was out, reality beckoned. Cash was in short supply and jobs would have to be found. Nick and his crew began the long drive home, but nothing would be the same again. Their experiences would leave them with the unshakable faith that anything is possible if you put your mind to it. As for their beloved serendipity bus, well, it's been put up for sale.